Hi everybody, Marty Rubin, and I'm back with another segment of Marty's Corner, and I'm joined by the famous Long Island connection here. Look what's doing over here.
That's our bandit.
Oh my God. This is a really exciting to have Long Island's own right here on the Argyle Theater stage. So we have Nikki Rinaudo-Concessi over here, who plays the adorable and lovable Chip for the school productions, and various roles you understudy for in the show.
A lot.
That's great. And then we have Mikey Marmann, okay, who plays, what doesn't he play? He plays the young prince, the handsome young prince, plays one of the busy townspeople.
Stanley, yeah.
And Stanley, that's right. And, of course, the unforgettable, the world-renowned cheese grater.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, we're gonna get back to the cheese grater.
Of course.
And then we have Jojo Minasi, who plays the adorable, lovable, goofy, clever, but super entertaining LeFou. Oh my God, they're unbelievable. So I want to give you all a chance to talk, but I just wanted to ask one question first to Jojo and Mikey. So I understand that you grew up and acted with a young Dylan Perlman.
Yes, we did.
When you did the shows. So did Dylan ever say to you, "You guys better be nice to me because someday I'm going to own a professional equity theater"?
He didn't say you better be nice to me, but this was a dream of Dylan's from like the moment I met him, and so it's really cool to see it actually come to be what it is now and get to perform here and everything.
He's taking good care of you over here. And Mikey, did he ever say that to you?
I probably not in those exact words, but I'm sure. I mean, Dylan kept us in check.
That's it, exactly. Well,
And still does.
well, you're in the show, so you must not have annoyed him. So here's the batting order. We got Nikki up first, right? So Nikki, when did you get started in theater, live theater?
So I started dance when I was 2 years old because my moms said that I would dance all over my house, actually to Dancing Queen by Mamma Mia. That was my favorite song when I was little. Then I was in Mamma Mia here.
How awesome was that?
So cool. Such a dream of mine that came true. So I started dance when I was 2 years old, and then I started theater when I was 7, and the first show I was in was Guys and Dolls.
Nice, which was the first show that we did.
Yeah, true.
So, well, let me ask you. To me, you are the secret weapon of the Argyle Theater.
Oh,
and you mentioned Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
You stepped in. You were the understudy for Sophie.
Yeah.
And the lead in Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
How crazy is that when with very little notice, they go, "Nikki, you're on tonight."
Yeah, so I had about 24 hours notice, which was crazy. And it was just like a whirlwind. Like it was like the craziest 24 hours of my life, like preparing and then coming here, and we had to put in rehearsal. And then just, all of my family and friends came out to see it, which was really, really cool. And I got to do it the whole weekend, which was awesome. And
I saw it. You were brilliant.
Thank you.
You were brilliant.
Thank you so much.
You were. So there's always baseball stuff with me. So in baseball, there's something called a closer. Okay, that's the pitcher that saves the game at the end of the game. Mm-hmm. The greatest closer of all time was the New York Yankee great Mariano Rivera. Mm-hmm. You are the Mariano Rivera of the Argyle Theater because I saw you do it in Wizard of Oz for the children's show. You stepped in as Dorothy.
True.
How do you keep it all
Another
together?
less than 24 hours notice.
Well, so how do you keep that all together? Because he stayed so calm and cool. That's how he was able to pitch so well. How do you do it?
It's a lot of preparation. Like beforehand, like during rehearsals and stuff, I did so much prep work, study my lines every night. I make like tracking sheets for every role that I cover. And so just like being prepared beforehand, so when you have that less than 24 hours notice, you're like, okay, and you just get into gear and your body just takes over. Like even right before the show, I'm like, all right, I need to stop looking over everything. I know what I'm doing and just
confidence.
Yeah.
Great. That's great. Batting second, we got Mikey Marmann. Okay, so Mike, in sports, there are people that are called glue players. Okay, that is the highest compliment, in my opinion, you can give a ball player. That's somebody that helps a team win, winning players. Well, you are a glue player out here. You really are. You've been in 4 productions. What productions? 3? Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Listen.
We didn't tell you that you're up for the I'm kidding.
Is this what I find out?
We want to tell you right here. No, you're Tony in West Side Story. No, I'm kidding.
Careful.
Yeah, right.
Put it out there.
Yeah, that's right. Which productions were you in?
So my first one I did Hunchback here, where I was in the ensemble and I understudied Phoebus in that. And then over the summer I swung for Footloose, and then Beauty and the Beast.
That's right. So I mean, it's wonderful to see you out. You play it with such gusto out here, so much energy. And we mentioned earlier about the cheese grater. I have to tell you, you have set the bar for every actor that's coming after you as a cheese grater.
There's a big number of us too. So
Really, seriously, I understand that the cheese grater has a name.
yes. So his name, unofficially, don't tell Ellen Menken this, is Colby Jack Grady.
Ah,
Of
okay.
course.
Nice.
These fine gentlemen here helped me pick that name out. But
Is there a backstory? Like, does that help you in the motivation to play the part?
I am incredibly lactose intolerant, so I've decided that the cheese grater also is lactose intolerant, and he hates cheese, so he's very happy to grate it up and destroy it. A fun fact for you though, cheese grater wasn't actually in the show to begin with. We were here and the costume was here ready to go, but no one was going to be wearing it. I saw it and I said, I'm going to be wearing that costume in the show. And I went to Deb.
You knew it. You
Yeah,
said,
I saw it and I was like, we're gonna make this happen. So I went to Deb and I was like, Deb, can I be the cheese grater at the end of Be Our Guest? And she said no. And so I went to Evan and I was like, Evan, can I be the cheese grater and Be Our Guest? And he was like, ask Deb. And I said, Deb, come on. And eventually I wore him down and we got the cheese grater in the show. And it's probably my greatest accomplishment.
It's just unbelievable. You know, I don't want to tell you this, but I was talking to Evan, Mr. Broadway Pappas, and he told me that he's considering naming the cheese grater as the unofficial captain of the utensils.
There you go.
I would
Are you
agree
ready?
with that.
I think so. So I got one more for you. So you're understudying for Gaston.
Yes, I am.
So there's so much you have to learn. Matter of fact, there's an understudy rehearsal after this. What is the feeling of, I have to master this role, but I may never get to go on?
You know,
how do you prepare mentally for that?
you kind of just you can't really think of it like I might never get to go on. You just kind of have to prepare as if you're going to be doing it every show. Otherwise, you're never gonna put the work into it. Like I said, I swung for Footloose, and when you're a swing, there is no guarantee. Like just like this, there was no guarantee that I would ever even touch the stage during Footloose.
Right.
But it doesn't really matter because if it happens and you are on stage, you need to look as prepared as everybody else that's up there.
Exactly.
So it's just like, as Nikki was saying before, it's just all about preparing for the worst and hoping for the best.
Yes, well,
Kind of situation.
we were in good hands with the two of you, that's for sure.
Thank you.
Batting third, Jojo Minasi, come on. Jojo, you have captured the spirit of the fool. I mean, you're so funny. Your legs are like rubbery, you're falling all over the stage. You're so clever out there.
Thank you.
You know, Gaston can rough you up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
He knocks you down a little bit, and you roll over. Does it take you a while for your body to recover from that?
Yeah, definitely. In the beginning, it was a little aggressive, and I was like, wow, like that hurts. But we have so much padding in that costume.
That's
I
good.
look like I'm twice the size that I am right now because of how much padding I have. And Elliot, who's Gaston, is like the most tender, gentle person.
With the 24
he's
pythons,
6'5", but he is like a gentle giant. Like he lets me down. Like he's so strong that he can hold my entire body weight without
Right.
like any
He does
strain.
curls with
So
you
like
once
when
that
he
shit.
drops me, he holds onto me until like the very last second. So I'm hitting the ground, and it looks like with acting that I'm hitting it harder than I actually am.
So you're saying Gaston really does have a heart then?
Oh yeah. Well, at least Elliot does.
You know, the song that you sing with him is like such a show-stopping number. You know, no one's quick as Gaston, no one's slick as Gaston. I stole that move from you.
Yeah.
I watched you a lot. Did you know in rehearsal that, whoa, we're dancing well, we're playing off each other, this is gonna work, you know?
Well, that was the first number we did ever in rehearsals, and it was a lot because, as you saw, like we do that dance with the cups, and that was really
a great.
it was
great
really
scene.
challenging, and like for people that have been dancing, like it's still challenging because it's not like you're dancing with your feet, you're just moving your arms in different ways. So that was a little wild, but then I could see immediately that Elliot and I had like a connection, and
No
that's so
doubt.
important, especially in a role like this where like I'm basically trusting him with my life at times. I'm like, I'm just gonna throw my body and hope that you catch me, and vice versa. So
Yeah.
but
That's great. You know, the three of you, being from Long Island, you get to have your families come. I mean, I see it, you know, with all of you. It's, do you find that you ever, I could hear your family or friends out in the audience? Does that give you a little extra rush to know they're out there? Nikki, you take it.
Yeah, so a lot of the times, like, my family and friends will come and I'll see them, like, in the audience, and I'm like, I can't look, because if I just can't look, because then I'll break. And I've been that way, like, since I was little. Like, when I was younger, my parents wouldn't buy tickets in, like, the first two rows, because they're like, we don't want to distract you, because they know I'll look at them. So I always just, like, look up and out, and then I'm like, I'll see them after. But yeah, it's really, it makes me really excited, and I get that extra, like, woo!
What about you, Mikey?
Yeah, I've got that rule too. They can't sit in like the first 3 rows.
Yeah.
After that, I'm pretty much blind. So
I
after
say
that,
it's row G and behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's always really, really nice to know that you have someone there, even if you can't see them. Just to know that you have someone that's there supporting you and like rooting for you is always a really, really good boost.
So how about yourself, Jojo?
Yeah, I had my 2 roommates came to see the show, and I could hear her laughing. She was sitting in the back row, and I could hear her laughing like every time I was on stage, and it made me feel so much like pride. I was like, wow, I'm doing the thing.
Well, you know, it's everybody, they're looking and they're probably envisioning you a little and saying they had a love for theater and look at them now, you know. It's nice. I'm feeling like that, you know. For you. But so I'm gonna set the scene for the 3 of you. Okay, here we go. So, there's been times when the 4 of us have been out in the lobby before a show, kidding around, and you know, and sometimes after the show, we'll be out in the street, you know, laughing. So here's the scene. This is all right. This has happened to a degree. So the 4 of us are outside after the show, and I'm telling Mikey that performance that night was the greatest cheese grater performance that he's had up to date. And just whatever, he was shaking the hands, and he was so into it, you know. Not that there's ever an off performance, but you were particularly on that night, and everybody knew it. So it was obvious, and I'm cracking myself up with it. And a woman walks up to us and looks at you, Jojo, and looks up at the marquee and it says, and sees Beauty and the Beast playing to January 1st, and she says to you, "Is this a show I can bring my family to?" What would you say to her?
Absolutely. This is a tale as old as time, as they say. It's a family classic. We grew up watching this show when we were kids, and they just made that remake, and they're doing it on ABC Live now. Like this is definitely a show that like it will have this significant like warm greeting message that is like fun for all ages. We know people that have kids that have come to see the show, and the kids love it, but the adults love it too. It is a good show for literally everyone.
Yeah.
Well, that woman just went up to the box office and bought 10 tickets for her family.
There you
You
go.
just sold it. But anyway, I wanna thank the Long Island connection here. I mean, this is what it's all about, is to see, Long Island's finest right here performing on Argyle Theater stage, bringing this show to life. 3 terrific performers. We're playing straight through Wednesday through Sunday to January 1st, and we can't wait to see you out here at the Argyle Theater.